checking out this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe. So Ricochet comes out and cuts a promo and basically says, I was told I could challenge anybody, and I did my research. I found that on October 4th of this year, a certain person's contract with the Don Callis family expired. Apparently the Don Callis family doesn't extend contracts due to injury.
Did you hear? Yeah, I know. Did you hear the line they used?
Which line?
I think it was Excalibur. He said that it was a clerical oversight.
That's when Rock's contract was not renewed in like 2006, that was a clerical oversight.
That was like that.
Nope, they fired that clerk.
Yeah, that was like I remember, that was a very famous line because Vince actually told that, when like Rock's contract expired at the end of a year. I remember the whole story. And, he was in the movies and it wasn't a big deal. And him and Vince weren't necessarily getting along well anyway, because Vince didn't think that he didn't think Rock was making wise choices in the movie business, because he thought when he was playing the gay character in that one movie, because Vince thought that Rock should be, what he ended up being, the big tough guy beating everybody up role, which is, where he ended up making his money after all. But he wanted to be, full range actor, take different parts, things like that. At that time, that was his goals at that time. Lost a lot of weight so he would not play the big muscle man guy and everything. But anyway, yeah. So 1 year the contract is up. I think it's 2003 or something. I forget the year. But he was talking about doing Mania. I mean, like, I remember, him. We were discussing names. He wanted to work with Sting real bad, which would have been difficult, but wanted Macho Man, but Macho Man was pretty much done then. There were a couple other names he was thinking of, but contract expired, and then I think it was WrestleMania. So it'd be like, let's say the contract expired at the end of the year. Then April, he goes to WrestleMania, meets with Vince, and basically makes a deal or whatever it was. They end up talking it all out, and he goes, why did you, what happened with the contract? And Vince goes, that was a clerical error. And I just thought that was like the funniest. Like, you forget to renew Dwayne Johnson's contract. Just somebody forgets. So anyway, they spoofed that one.
All right, so it's Hobbs. And so we got Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita versus Ricochet and Powerhouse Hobbs. And Hobbs is another one. This guy's been gone for 6 months. He got back in the ring. It was like he'd never left.
He was gigantic.
He was gigantic, and he was quite great, and the people were super into him. They were chanting meat the entire match.
I'll tell you what, he looked better than he looked before.
He was great.
I was really worried about him because, he's a big dude, and he had a really bad knee injury. And he seemed to move fine.
Yeah, he's running around and jumping and doing the whole 9 yards. And, I mean, he looked great. And so, finally, do all the big spots there at the end. Ricochet hits a running lariat and pins Takeshita. So
yeah, to set up
Ricochet and Takeshita will be doing a championship match.
To set up the championship match, yeah. I thought Hobbs came across like a really big star.
I
could see him ending up in the Hurt Syndicate. I could see that. It actually would make sense, but he'd have to turn back. And he was over really big as a babyface.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it yet. He's too over.
Yeah.
Fletcher takes out Hobbs and Ricochet with chair shots afterwards. He goes for the Tiger Driver on Ricochet, but Mark Davis runs down to make the save. Whoever is dressing Mark Davis, we need to have a talk. What? This is weeks in a row now. I mean, the fans dress better coming to the building, and you guys have been to wrestling shows, okay? So he gets in the ring, and Kyle and him get in a shoving match. Archer and Cage hit the ring. They kill Davis. Adam Cole tries to make the save. Takeshita brawls to the back with him because they're doing a match next week. Kyle goes for the screwdriver, but Will Ospreay's music hits, and this place goes bonkers. And he hits the ring, makes the save. Ospreay, Ricochet, Davis, and Hobbs run off the heels to end the show. This was a good episode of Dynamite.
I thought so. I thought very good episode. This was a great main event match. I thought that everybody... Fletcher was so good, and Takeshita is awesome. And, Ricochet is, he's really getting his legs down, and Hobbs looked good. Even though they were building Ricochet and and Takeshita is the main focus of this match, with the finish and everything. They really put over Hobbs in the whole match.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notify button, and you'll never miss a video again.